It's McKenna Law Firm at 509-765-4451. Fax 509-765-1619. McKenna Law Firm here in Muslake, Washington, 509-765-4451. Fax 509-765-1619. McKenna Law Firm. Carla McKinnon. Also the services of John Luke Hazen McKinnon. His birthday is November 15th of 1950. The association with the Justice Department, which is the DOJ, and services of the Supreme Justice Department on 1st Street North, East, Washington, D.C. 20543. Ms. Robertson, Supreme Justice Department Policy Regulation Appeals Processing Services. And that's in Richland, Washington, the Richland Federal Kennedy Building at 825 Jadwin. That's Eric Singer, Norman Rodriguez, and Ryan Lutzkin. Policy Regulation of Appeal and a Process Service Administration Officer carries that service and policy regulations with judges, federal judges, and also the jury selection that's picked by their service and policy regulations for their summonses and the confirmation verification, UPS, FedEx confirmation signature verification. Now the regulations that they carry at McKenna Law Firm. So remember, we recorded all this material, all these headstones and all these rocks, which are data and information that's brought in courthouse administration office for the business renewal services and policy regulation and services. And YouTubing all this information. YouTube UR confirmation of damage in McKenna Law Firm at 509-765-4451. Fax 509-765-1619. McKenna Law Firm at 509-765-4451. CIMARON5INC, 1400 Main Street, Andy Miller, Eric Singer, Norman Rodriguez, and Ryan Lutzkin. City Mayor Federal Courthouse at 825 Jadwin, and also on the service on Swift, 825. McKenna Law Firm is John McKinnon, 509-765-4451. Fax 509-765-619. Andy Miller, 7122 S Okanagan Place, Building A, Kennewick, Washington, 99336-735-3591. Fax 509-736-3066. Andy Miller at Sioux Bend, Washington. That's Eric Singer, Norman Rodriguez, Ryan Lutzkin, and also the mayor's business card, and also the prosecutor's card and policy regulation. Norman Rodriguez, judge administrating. We got that URL, Eric Singer and Norman Rodriguez, live at 7112 West Okanagan Place. The Washington Farm Bill is 4011314A. First name Felix, last name Barela. 4011314A. CIMARON5, Andy Miller at Sioux Bend, Washington, U.S. 735-3591. CIMARON5, 1400 Main Street, Delaware, Washington. That's Barela, Felix 805 Ave, and CIMARON5, yahoo.com. That's Mr. McKenna Law Firm, PS Corp. John Luke McKinnon, 704 Olive. This is a Washington State Department license, business profession division, certifies, and the person, business, and name below. Of course, we got the business license number, which is 2011-7529. That's 2011-7529. Issued September 25th, 2024. That's October 1st of 2028. That's Mr. J. Inslee, Governor Steve R. Hubb, Secretary of State, and Market State Glasper, Department License. And you see that confirmation verification disclosure signed. That regular service and policy regulation of the Bank Commission Society. Donald Trump himself, 45th, 47th President of the United States of America. Laura Trump, President Primary Election. Kelly C. Trump, that's May of 2025, her birthday, 18th birthday. Market State Glasper. Teresa Hobbs, Steve Hobbs, Secretary of State of Washington State, and Bob Ferguson, Attorney General of Washington Bar Association, and Service and Policy Regulation of the Business Renewal. Tiffany, Laura, Eric, Donald J. Jr., Ivanka Trump, Melania Trump, Eric Trump, and also Caitlin C. Trump and Donald Trump, President of the United States of America. 4th July. This is the July of 13th of 2024 assassination plot. The Journal of the United States Army Base and Policy Regulation, the YouTube URL and photos of policy regulation, Larson Air Force Base on Larson Air Force Base on the United States Army Base in Moses Lake, Washington. This is, of course, Bill Gates, 1835 73rd Avenue, and policy regulation down with a $200 billion deposit for 20 years. Of course, this is New York, Newark, Central Park, and this is Manhattan. This is Donald Trump Jr., Melania Trump, Donald Trump, Ivanka Trump, Eric Trump, and Tiffany Trump. Of course, we got the United States Marines and the policy regulation of July of 2025. And the President Primary Election and Service and Policy Regulation of Norman J. Mattis, the 45th President of the United States, now 47th President of the United States, Norman J. Mattis, and Mr. Andy Miller and Norman J. Mattis, head-to-head in policy regulation, photographs, and policy 7122 West Oakland Place, Eric I. Singer, Norman Rodriguez, and Ryan Lutzkin, and also the federal courthouse and the higher court system. Of course, we got Mark Rubio. We got Doug Bergsman. We got Mark Rubio. We got Donald J. Trump, 47th President of the United States of America. Of course, we got Pete Hegseth, H-E-G-E-T-H. Pete, P-E-T-H-E Hegseth. H-E-G Hegseth. His job description. Department of Defense. Of course, we got the Journal of the Marine Corps of July of 2025. We got Ivanka Trump and Donald Trump, 45th President of the United States of America, Air Force One. We decommissioned Air Force One. We had to go to Saudi Arabia, Qatar, to do a $1 trillion contract with the United States of America and Saudi Arabia to continue on the Larson Air Force Base and also Air Force One and the service and policy regulation of Air Force One. This is down the Trump, the 45th, and Ivanka Trump. Of course, this is the presidential primary election, where it became 47th President of the United States of America. Here, in McKenna Law Firm, 09-765-4451. Of course, we got the Oval House picture of Donald Trump and Melania Trump. And we got Ivanka Trump, the 50th and 52nd First Lady of the United States of America. Of course, we got the championship where the Kansas City was undefeated for 2 years, and of course, Philadelphia Eagles brought the championship 47th jersey to the United States White House and the trophy with Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America. And of course, 1835 73rd Avenue, Bill Gates, at the owner of Apple and Microsoft, and also the service of $200 billion deposit for 20 years. This Regulation and Service Administration Office, Donald J. Trump, 45th President of the United States of America, and also the service of the Maine Society of Successors. And I'm in Ken Law Firm at 509-765-4451. Fax 509-765-6019. McKen Law Firm. And it's executive order. Over primary election. The Brigadier Toro Stratton Style 150cc carrying this warranty seriously. There's a million of viewers. Has a throttle switch. Has a primer switch on it. Got the Cadillac converter. Has a control valve. Intake and manifold adjustment. Has a acceleration, valve control. Has a warranty on the engine itself. 150cc stress. Mr. McKinley Carlin, McKinley and Parcel Regulation Services, has a 3-year warranty on the grill, the batteries, intake manifold. And McKinley Law Firm and also Army Base are carrying that download submitted information on July 15th of 2024 assessment.